tak fikir pun nak pakai kondom ke apa ke. Just tahu nak buat je.
Few people want to talk about it, but Malaysian teenagers are having sex, and the silence means teens are unprepared for the consequences. In Malaysia, girls who fall pregnant before they're married often come to shelter homes like this one.
Rumah kita ialah rumah pelindungan yang memberi bantuan kepada ibu-ibu yang hamil tanpa suami. Di sini kami menjaga mereka yang sedang menunggu masa untuk melahirkan dan juga memberi penjagaan selepas mereka melahirkan anak-anak mereka.
Malaysian teens of all races are becoming mothers, and residents here have come to avoid the social stigma of being pregnant before they're married. When we visited this shelter, it was home to 14 girls and 3 babies, and in Selangor alone, there's at least 19 more shelters just like this one. One of the girls agreed to speak to us. She was 16 years old and 9 months pregnant.
Macam mana tahu yang pregnant?
Tak datang period, and then saya try beli pregnant test and positive.
Siapa yang ajar untuk beli?
Kakak boyfriend.
Maksudnya tahu tak macam ada ini pencegah kehamilan macam kondom macam tu?
Tahu, tapi time tu tak fikir pun nak pakai kondom ke apa ke, sebab saya pun tak tahu time tu nak pakai apa. Just tahu nak buat je.
Tahu tak risiko yang mungkin akan hamil, mungkin boleh dapat penyakit kelamin?
Tahu.
Tapi tak fikir.
Although she chose not to use it, Mariam did know about contraception. But this makes her an exception to the rule, because according to studies, most Malaysian teenagers are not aware of their contraceptive options.
In a study that I did about a few years ago, out of 3,000 over patients that were referred to me, about 75% did not even know how to protect themselves from a pregnancy.
Dr. Sheila leads the scan team at the Kuala Lumpur General Hospital. Her team treats children with problems related to sexual health. While many of her patients are victims of sexual assault, she says that most are victims of ignorance.
The younger age group children are really truly the ones which are exploitative and abusive, whereas the older ones, the teenagers per se, they come under the statutory rape diagnosis, but majority of them would be consensual. I would say about 90% of them. Unfortunately, the knowledge about safety in sex is not very high.
Another local study shows that only 32% of sexually active school children used condoms, and 72% of sexually active teens in rural areas didn't use any form of contraception. This is despite the fact that sex education is taught in Malaysian schools as reproductive and social health education. According to the Ministry of Education, the subject helps students acquire accurate and comprehensive knowledge about sexuality and the consequences of sexual activity. But not everyone agrees.
The topics that we address in schools are not comprehensive. So what the teacher can cover is only very basic information for the children.
This is Juliana Ui, an educator who volunteers her time talking to students about sex and sexual relationships.
Comprehensive sexuality education includes a broader range of topics such as your sexual and reproductive health rights, contraception, safer sex, safe abortion, consensual sexual relationships, and also your responsibilities in making these decisions.
To address some of these issues, Juliana joined sexual and reproductive health NGO FRAM at their national youth camp. We went along and asked some of the participants what they learned from sex education in school.
I think what we had during previously during secondary school year, it's just like fiction.
They do have talks, but it's not very informative.
They will explain to you how the reproductive system works
in scientific manners that will make you not really understand how it works.
Even inside our textbooks, they won't use words like sex. They would use words like copulation.
Bagi saya, sebab saya boleh tahu dari internet semua, sebab dah luas, semua orang mulai tahu kan.
All about the information that now we knew about is like we figured it out by ourselves.
We decided to look through some school textbooks to find out what is in the curriculum.
The books for primary schools are really good. They have topics on good touch, bad touch, on the different kind of body parts.
The secondary school books, there's a lot of moral values attached, even if the subject is health or science. And more than that, there's absolutely no talk about sexual relationships, about consent, about anything practical for real life.
We don't provide a full range of information required by the young people to make a decision for themselves. If they are sexually active, therefore much more work needs to be done.
When we approached Malaysia's largest teachers' union for comment, we found that the problem wasn't just the textbooks.
Earlier when this topic was debated, the teachers were very unhappy because they have their own beliefs, strong beliefs and religious teachers and all this. They feel that why they are forced to do that. Because we are still a society of with shyness. Sex is something that people still feel very sensitive. People still feel this is something very personal, very private.
This reluctance to address teenagers' concerns about sex has very real consequences.
Berapa umur?
17 tahun.
Masa yang dia tanya, apa yang awak cakap dengan dia?
Ya, situ memang tak nak, tapi dah diminta. So,
kenapa tak nak?
Sebenarnya tak bersedia lagi, tapi dah diminta, so saya bagilah.
If we gave our teenagers the correct and the proper knowledge and how to say no firstly, and in the event of sexual activity, giving them knowledge how to protect themselves from STIs and from pregnancy. And this is what we need to tackle in a very sensitive manner, because a lot of people are afraid to talk about this.
We visited Mariam again after she gave birth.
Sebelum jadi ibu, tak rasa macam ada tanggungjawab lagi. Tapi dah lahirkan anak ni, rasa ada tanggungjawab, rasa happy sangat-sangat.
Tanggungjawab apa tu?
Sebagai seorang ibu, kena jaga dia betul-betul. Jangan jadi macam saya.
Adik akan bincang dengan anak tentang seks tak?
Tak kot, biarlah dia tahu sendiri bila dia sekolah nanti.